Hello. So today we have organised a simple Warhammer Fantasy Battle meeting engagement. We've decided to go for 2,000 points on each force. I've got a large Wood Elf army, and this is a thin slice of it. So I'm going to be using the Wood Elves. Haven't used them for a long time, so I've cracked them open in order to use them for this game. My opponent's going to be using Lizardmen. So we're using 6th edition Warhammer. This is the very plain, but I think it's a nice design book. I'm pretty sure this is the 6th edition. If memory serves me right, this was the last 6th edition book released, and it was the Wood Elves. And I don't think they had one released after that. They never got their second book, I think. So it's all taken from this 6th edition book. Just going to quickly run through my list. It is a different models. This doesn't match the list exactly, and I'll explain why when I start to go through them. So the actual model is called Squall the Hunter, and he has some pet birds with him, and what looks to be a cat o' three tails. He's my Wood Elf Noble. He's got the Way Watcher, a kindred. I've given him the Bow of Lauren, which gives him 3 shots per turn. Pageant of Shrikes, which gives him another missile attack, and he will deploy with the Way Watchers, and he's the general as well. Army BSB, very nice homemade banner which is invisible. He has the Midwinter banner, which is a 1-use and can make his unit unbreakable for a turn. He's going to go with the Glade Guard. Got a level 1 Spellsinger with Cluster of Radiance. That gives them +1 Dispel dice. The Slan magic phase will be brutal, so I've tried to anti-magic a little bit. This base is not fully legal, just in case you were wondering. It's actually a lump of granite. This is a Spellweaver with Lamentation of Despairs, which will force a leadership test or suffer wounds. Both my Spellweavers are level 2. This will not give me extra Dispel dice, but should give me a magic phase to go against the Slan. If I did just take level 1s, I pretty much wouldn't get anything off at all, so it's only 25 points. I'm hoping to get the points back. I've put them all in one solid block now, but they're going to be in 3 units of 10. So we have 10 Glade Guard with bows, 10 Glade Guard with bows, 10 Glade Guard with bows, 10 Scouts. I have 19 Eternal Guard who will have the BSB who are going in front. They have full command. Have 2 War Dancer troops with a musician and a blade singer, nothing else. Have 3 Treekin. Have 9 Way Watchers. So it's quite small, quite elite. There's a lot of shooting. I'm either going to roll well and succeed spectacularly and avoid combat, or fail miserably. We'll see which way we go.
Hi, I'm Mark, and this is my predominantly 5th edition Lizardmen army, but I'm going to be playing with them as 6th edition with this book. As you can see, it's all metal, mostly bare metal. Still intending to paint them up, but we're going to see how they go today. So, gone for as many lizard bodies as I can, hoping to weather the shooting that way. It's led by a 4th generation Slan Mage Priest, Lord Tidlick the Thirsty. He's also the Battle Standard Bearer, and he is also equipped with the Cupped Hands of the Old Ones, which, for those of you who aren't familiar, gives the entire unit that he is with a 5+ ward save to any attacks that originate outside of hand-to-hand combat. And I figured with the shooting coming in, that will probably help with survivability. Alongside that, he is has 20 Temple Guard, and they're equipped with shields, a musician, and a revered guardian, which counts as a unit champion. Now, did not take an additional banner because you can't get the resolution with both a banner and the battle standard bearer. It's one, or you just get the +1 for having a banner. In this unit here, I have 19 Saurus equipped with shields, and they also have a standard bearer and a musician. They're from the blessed spawning of Quetzal, which gives them +1 to their scaly skin, so that'll give them a 4+. They're also led by a Saurus Scar veteran, which is Lungi the Greedy, and he is a Scar veteran with shield, light armor, and he has the magic item Venom of the Firefly Frog, which gives his attacks both poison and also magical, which I'm hoping will get a few more wounds across. Over here we have 17 skirmishers that are equipped with javelins and shields and are led by a brave. Behind them we have 3 Croxagore. I'm hoping that they'll provide a good punch if they can get in hand-to-hand combat. Back here we've got 3 Pterodons, and they're going to be led by a brave, just for a bit of extra hitting power. Over here we've got 2 Salamanders and a hunting pack with their skink attendants. And lastly, I have a Stegodon, just to hopefully provide a bit of support out on maybe one of the flanks. The crossbow on the back should hopefully punch through some big units, and I'm also hoping will be a big distraction. So that's my 2,000 points right on the dot of Lizardmen. So deployment is now complete. Off camera you can't see there is some scouts over in this corner. I left a little bit too much room and the scouts are snuck in my back line. And over in the other corner off screen is some war dancers, the other unit of war dancers. Hopefully in a few little turns they'll either be dealt with or they'll moved on to the shop. I've just tried to do a fairly conservative line with my big heavy units in the middle, supported by more flanking elements on the sides. Probably not deployed the best, but this is my first time using Lizardmen in 6th edition, so very much learning as I go. Going to try and basically just hold the centre and try to weather the storm of many wood elf arrows. And
So I have set the wood elves up. It's a wood elves bit of a gun line, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of shooting. I lost a crucial roll to go first and open fire and try and get some damage in the first turn. So I rolled a 6 on the deployment, but the Lizardmen deployed first, so they have +1, so they go first. So Wave Watchers in my free wood, which I'm going to try and sing left or right to slow down the advance. Archers. The Eternal Guard are going to try and hold the line. So they've got an unbreakable banner. So they're going to try and go in and suck one of the units into a charge. And then I've got War Dancers on my flanks and the Treekin also to come up and come through the flanks. Hopefully some stuff will be destroyed and panicked off the table by the time the combats come about. Don't have too much punch, and I'm very much prepared to run away at the drop of a hat, or in my elf's instance, drop of a cloak.
so Lizardmen turn 1. I've moved up pretty much across the board. The skinks with their high movement have taken that centre hill. Just off to this side, the salamanders have spun around to try and address the scouts that have come up behind. I'm hoping their shooting will at least dent the scouts and maybe even rout them. My 2 major core units have moved up along with my Stegodon in the centre. I didn't march the Stegodon because I do want to try and get the great bow to fire. I don't know if I'm in range yet. You won't be able to see it behind this rock pillar. The Pterodons have sort of advanced up because they want to threaten some stuff in the middle in the next turn. And yeah, we're going to get straight into magic. Now, I didn't cover the spells that I got. I mostly roll on the Law of Light to begin with, and my Slime Mage Priest got Blinding Light, Far's Illumination, and Healing Hand, which I'm pretty happy with. I think all of those will be quite useful coming into the upcoming magic phase, as well as also Metal. I initially rolled the spell that would allow you to destroy weapons, which I initially thought would be great because you can actually force the enemy's bows or various weapons to disintegrate. However, it's got a very short range of 12, and I don't think the elves are going to be coming to me that close. So instead I just took the base level spell, which is the Rule of Burning Iron, and I thought that would be useful because not only is it a magic missile, which is always handy, it also is a flaming attack, so if I do get in range of, say, the Treekin, that will be handy to put some double wounds on them. So coming into the magic phase, we get 2 dice just for a turn out, and I've got a single level 4 wizard, so that's an additional 4 dice.
I have 2 for coming and 1 for each level 2 spell. Senior.
So, looking at what sort of spells I can, as I said, this is my first time using this army, so normally I'm not using these types of spells. With the Law of Light, so Blinding Light can be cast on an enemy unit which is visible to and within 24 inches of the caster and which is not engaged in close combat. If successfully cast, the unit is momentarily blinded and its movement characteristic is reduced by half, and its weapon skill and ballistic skill reduced to 1. I think that'll be quite a good spell, and I'm actually tempted to cast it on the unit in the woods because it does fulfill all those categories. And it'll probably hit their spells. Alternatively, I could target one of the other spells units around here. Far's Illumination is not really useful at this time, and so is Healing Hand, but nothing's taken any wounds. The other spell that might be worth casting is the Rule of Burning Iron, which is a magic missile with a range of 24. So I think I will start with Blinding Light, and I will cast it on that unit in the woods. Now, it's a cast on a 9+. Being a level 4, I can throw 4 dice at it, and I think that's what I'm going to do. So I need a 9+. So I get 14 and +1 for being a slime. So the spell is cast.
Yeah, and then you put 3 dice in.
You can get 18.
I could. Yeah.
Okay, so for so this lasts 1 turn. So until the end of the unit's following turn, they are functionally weapon skill and ballistic skill 1, and their movement is halved. So with my remaining 2 dice, I am going to cast Rule of Burning Iron, and I'm going to target it's a single hit, and the strength is dependent on what the armor save of the enemy is. I'm going to declare the target as the spell singer, as by themselves, and it is a range of 24. So I've all got to roll to cast first. So it's a cast on 3+. And I can start cast with a total of 6.
5.
Okay. So it is cast, and now I'm going to roll to see, measure to see if it's in range.
Yeah, it should be.
Barely.
barely.
Mhm.
That's still in range.
So I believe no armor.
No.
So it's just a strength 3 hit.
Yep.
So strength 3 on toughness 3 should be a 4+. It wounds. And it doesn't say that there's any other issues, so it just takes a single wound.
Okay.
And so that's the end of the magic phase. I'm going to move on to the shooting. I'm going to start with the salamanders. I had to remember what they were called for a second.
Isn't the other unit razor?
Razordons, I don't have any because this is a fifth edition army, and they only had salamanders at this point. I don't even think in this edition the Razordons came out. I think much later.
Okay.
They were already transitioning from the big sail on the back to more of a streamlined
Yes.
creature. So, the way salamanders work is... So they've got a range of 15, and you roll an artillery dice for each salamander. This is the number of hits that the target suffers. So they're declaring that the scouts are the target, and they will be within 15 since they're right in the corner there. And so I'll roll 2 artillery dice, which gives me a total of 8. So they suffer 8 strength 3 hits with a -1 to their armor save.
So 4s.
So 4, 6, 8. 8 hits on the scouts. I'm going to roll the cocked one. So 4.
That's the panic test.
Oh, we've got no armor?
New. Who needs armor?
Oh.
So panic test.
Yeah, very brave.
Got 4 dude. First blood or flaming corpses.
Mm-hmm.
What did I spit?
It is
Was it venom or
No, it's about flames.
flames? Yeah, burned to the crisp.
It's a corrosive venom. So they say that the attack is called spout flames, but the later on describes it as a corrosive venom. So there we go.
That doesn't make any sense. Venom, it occurs inside. If you splash venom on your skin, it doesn't burn. So it's like a chemical substance. So it's corrosive liquid.
Yes.
They didn't study science, did they? They're
really
good at game design, but very bad at science. Okay, is that?
No, I've still got this one.
Yeah, the ginormous bow.
So I'm going to nominate that because, like a bolt thrower, it'll actually push me through. So, I'll measure the range. It is under half. So, normally would be hitting on a 4+, we'll be hitting on a 5+ because I moved. And that misses. And everything else is out of range because they've got javelins, and they've only got an 8-inch range. So that is the end of the shooting phase. And that would be the end of Lizardmen turn 1.
So, first turn for the elves. I left my scouts alone in the corner. They're now in a stand and shoot assault with the salamanders, which is really what I needed to win first turn. Move forward the war dancers and the treekin. They've kind of slipped forward, ready to take on the skinks and the croxagors behind them. I was going to move the trees with the wave watchers, but they can't. They're hit on 6s now. Really has kipped them up. The other war dancers have moved forward, and that's just about it. So everything that could go wrong is going wrong. So it's a bit of a bad start, but I'll come back, don't worry about that. So I'm going to do my magic. This is where editing's going to help because I've completely forgotten all of my spells again. This is ridiculous because I played this army so much. I played tournaments with it.
Yeah, but it was quite a while ago, so.
2006, 2007, I think.
That's
They got the characters before.
15 years ago.
Ouch.
Yeah, I was learning to drive.
Okay. I'm going to cast the Hidden Path.
Oh, hang on, just talk through your how many dice you've got.
Oh. I should probably describe my spells as well. Editing. I'm going to need to change the battery so me waffling on. So my spells for the game, Spell Singer number 1 has Tree Singing and the Hidden Path. The Hidden Path gives me immunity to non-magic missiles. The second Spell Singer has the Hidden Path again and Twilight Host, which makes my unit cause fear. So for this turn, I'm going to cast the Hidden Path within 18 inches. So I'm going to cast on the Eternal Guard. I'm going to throw 3 dice at it on a 7+. I'm not going to be able to edit that out. So I get 2 dice for coming, and I actually get 6 dice. So I get 2 from a level 2, and 2 from other level 2. So I'm glad you made me do that, otherwise I would have been throwing 4 dice at him.
And I get 2 dice for coming and 2 dice for my level 4.
But this land does get +1 to every dispel attempt. So first of all, I cast the Hidden Path on my Eternal Guard to give him a magic immunity to non-magic missiles. Goes off on a 7+. It doesn't go off. That's a 6. That's a 5. 3 dice. Would you like to dispel?
I think I'll hold on to my dispel dice for now.
Let that one go. Okay. So that was to suck all of your dice out and cast it again on the same unit from the other Spell Singer. So now you've only got 4 dice +1 to dispel 3 dice. It does go off though.
On a 6. And I will
It goes off on a 6. It goes off on a 12.
Sorry. And I will throw all my dispel dice in it because why not? And I actually get a ultimate dispel.
Beat it on, yeah, no.
So I ended up getting 20 plus the 1, so 21.
I think 21 is more than 12.
Quick maths.
We might check that later. Now I need to go back to my bucket of dice for my shooting phase. I'm going to go over here first with 8, 2, 4, 6, 8. So
6.
2,
Do they shoot
4,
twice?
6. No. Killed 4, not killed 2, 4, 6. So, Armed Ballista skill of 5. A lot.
So we'd normally be hitting on 2s. I'd say that's soft cover.
4.
Okay, so normally hitting on 3s.
Yep.
Soft cover would be down to 4s.
4s. 4 hits, and then randomise.
Oh yes. So 1 to 4 you hit the salamander, 5 to 6 you hit the skink.
2 hits on a salamander, 2 hits on a skink.
Okay. So the 2 on the salamander, they are toughness 4.
5s.
So 1.
1 wound.
And has a 5 plus scaly skin. And it takes a wound.
Do you need a tiny dice?
That's a wound.
Okay.
So takes the wound down to 2. And for the skinks, I believe only toughness 2. Yes, toughness 2.
3s. Yay!
Okay, with no save.
But 2.
I'll take 1 off
Yeah.
each unit.
2 from that is not enough, is it? but to cause the thing to test.
So I believe they've got a unit strength of... Oh, and it actually should have been one less as well because they are counting as skirmishes. But that's okay. We'll remember that for next time.
Sorry. Do you want me to
It's okay.
start again?
No. No, we'll know.
Yeah.
So it doesn't say, but I'm guessing you use their wounds plus the wounds of the skinks. So 3 each. So you did 3 wounds on something that is 12 wounds total, which is 1/4.
But the multi-wound wouldn't count. You have to distribute how many, not how many wounds you lost, it's how many wounds. So they're still on the thing. So
Okay, so they've only taken two wounds.
2 from 12.
2 from 12. Okay, cool.
We'll go back and check that later in case, but no great shakes. I'm just going to check the angles with my angle finder. So yep, they can all see skinks on the hill. So that's going to be 10 shots. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. My bow's range is 15. I'm going to guess you're over 15, so I'm going to say long range. Unless you want me to measure.
Might as well measure it out, see if at least some of them might be in within.
Yeah, 15. 15.
Okay.
So I'm saying out.
So,
Long range.
and skirmishes, so -2.
5s.
So, 1.
1.
But only toughness 2, so it would be a 3 plus to wound.
No.
It does not.
I'm going to do these guys, so they're all ballistic skill 1.
Mm-hmm.
So Bow of Lauren. I'm going to aim at the Temple Guard unit with the slam.
Okay.
So it'd be 6s to hit, long range.
Mm-hmm.
1 hit.
Okay.
And
So they're toughness 4.
and the hero is strength 4. But you have 4+ ward and a 4+.
So 5 plus ward on the unit,
5
4 plus ward on the slam himself.
Wound.
So wounds him. So they are scaly skin 5 plus a shield, brings them 4 plus. So, but it's a strength 4 bow, so it'll be a 5 plus.
It's his strength statistic, which is 4.
Yeah. So 5 plus armor, and followed by a 5 plus ward fail it. And doesn't fail the armor.
So 9 hits, 9 shots, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 6 is to hit.
Mm-hmm.
1.
1. Strength 3.
Yes.
Okay, so 5 plus does not wound.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So 10 shots from the archers who can see.
Mm-hmm.
Long range before.
It's not looking good, folks. 2.
You
No, 3.
3. 5 or 6. 5 or 6. 5, 1.
4 plus
So
saves.
10 more. This phase is going to take ages. Long range force. That's continued. 3, 4. Followed by 5s to wound. It's a tough 1.
1 wound. So 4 plus save, and it saves.
So, how many wounds have I done? None. Okay.
Okay, so movement for turn 2 for the Lizardmen. Declare the charge over on my right hand flank, where the pterodons have charged the side of the bowman unit. The Stegodon has stopped where he was and he's pivoted a little bit to face the War Dancers to hopefully line up a shot, maybe get a counter charge in. The Temple Guard have marched forward to try and hold up the centre of the field, whereas the Saurus with spears have kind of just moved up a little bit. They didn't march, they just went at a normal pace because I didn't feel they had enough range to actually charge that unit. Meanwhile, the Skinks and the Croxagores have gone to take the hill. They didn't charge, they just moved up. They didn't march because I wanted to throw javelins into the Treekin. And the Salamanders have held their spot. They're going to try and spit some more corrosive venom over the scouts in that corner. So we're coming into the magic phase. So once again, I get 2 power dice just for coming, and I get 4 for being a level 4 wizard with my slam.
I have 2 dispel dice for coming, 1 each for my level 1s. Just a reminder, there is some magic resistance in some of my units, but they haven't been targeted yet, so no more extra dispel dice.
So once again, it worked out pretty well last time. The slam is going to target the quite dangerous, I feel probably one of the more dangerous units here, with blinding light. So cast on 9+, and I will throw 4 power dice at it. And I get 7, 9, 10, a total of 11 with my bonus. And that cast, no miscasting yet. And Nick rolls double 1, which means that his dispel is automatically unsuccessful. So that does go off, so once again, their movement is halved, their weapon skill and ballistic skill is reduced to 1 until the end of their next turn. I still have 2 more dice remaining, and once again I'm going to throw the Rule of Burning Iron onto the already wounded Spellsinger, because I believe it's only got 1 wound left. I know it's in range, I need a 3+, so it's pretty easy to get off, and I get a total of 9.
Not dispel with my next.
Okay, so once again, it's a strength 3, toughness 3, so on 4+, fails to wound. That ends the magic phase. We will now go on to the shooting. To begin with, we're going to start with the Salamanders over here. So once again, they're within range, and I roll 2 artillery dice, and that's the number of hits that the unit takes. And it is a beautiful 14. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 14. Wounding on 4s. Strength 3 on toughness 3.
You might need a cut for those dice.
It's looking pretty good already. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 wounds, which should wipe out the scouts. Which is good for me. While I've got the big bucket of dice out, I will continue with the 17 javelins from the Skinks. Now, just double checking that their Brave doesn't have a better ballistic skill than the rest. Skink Brave does have a ballistic skill of 4, so I'll get a different dice for that. So there's 16 regular Skinks. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16.
There's a red one there.
Oh, there's 2. So, being that they are thrown weapons, the javelins, they don't get a negative penalty for moving and shooting, and they also don't get a negative for being over half range. So I'll just make sure that they are all within the 8 inches that are range. Looks like there's a couple that are out.
Oh,
Oh no. Nope, they're all in. So, majority of them will hitting on 4s. The red one will be hitting on a 3.
You do need a cut for that.
I do. And any 6s are auto wound because they are poisoned. So I'll start by grabbing out the 6s. think that's all of the 6s. Take out the less than 3 and less. So 2 automatic wounds and 2, 4, 6, 7. It's a strength 3 attack, and what's their toughness?
He said 5, but he doesn't know. Top of his head, shrieking, toughness 5.
Okay, so wounding on 6s. And no wounds, so just the 2 automatic wounds.
Do you still get saved against wounding?
Yeah, just an automatic wound, that's all.
So forest spirit, I should know this, but I don't. Let's check the save before I roll. Slowly getting there. This will come out in editing, I hope. Forest spirit, 5 plus water save.
Okay. So 2 wounds with 5 plus ward.
4 plus
Oh, we've got regular armour as well.
regular armour.
Okay. Oh, they
Both
saved.
saved. Didn't need the water save.
Okay.
Not worth looking at. There you go.
Okay, and then finally, I'm going to throw the crossbow into the war dancers, because I believe I could probably hit 3 with that line.
I would say yeah.
So
3.
hitting on a 4 plus, and it hits. So strength 5 with D3 wounds. So initially it'll be
2.
2.
Yeah. Toughness 3.
it wounds,
And 6 plus ward.
it kills. Strength 4 misses. So that
Yep.
is the end of it.
And they're immune to psychology.
Okay. It wouldn't have mattered anyway.
No, but just if we added them up.
Okay. And that is the shooting phase, and over to oh, and combat now. So, the pterodons fight first. So, 3 attacks for each of the regular pterodons. 4 attacks for the brave, but they all have the same. I believe they've all got the same weapon skill, which is 3.
3 against 4 is 4.
So, not too bad. Looks like 6 hits. I believe they are strength 4. Yes, the strength 4. So, wounding on 3s. So, for 4 wounds.
Okay. Might as well go straight to resolution. So 4 attacks, 4 wounds, flank attack. Which you're not skirmishers, are you?
Good question. Flying unit, so I'm not sure if that means that they're also skirmishers, but
I don't think they are. So
I don't get a rank.
Yeah, but you outnumber now, and because you killed 4, I don't have a rank. I've only got 3 left. And you don't get a heal bonus in this edition. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So snake eyes. Close, but no scar. So run away. You get 3 dice.
3 dice. 9.
9 against 7. So you can overrun by 9.
Which would actually run me into your
Wizard.
So I'll do the overrun to them.
Yep. Destroyed.
And it will also prompt a panic test
From the wizard.
both the wizard and the island, because I believe that's within 4 inches. So the 4 inches or 6 inches.
Panic from destroyed is 4, and it's 4. Doesn't matter if it's 6.
Okay.
So panic. For do the wizard first, because closest. He's fine. Panic for the archers, because they're next.
They're fine.
They're fine. So the war dancers have declared a charge on the skinks. They're going to do a stand and shoot reaction I've done it. I should have done it the other way around, shouldn't I? And then the Treekin have declared a charge on as well. So they're standing and shooting against the War Dancers. -1 for stand and shoot. 17 dice. So bucket of dice time from Mark.
And just before we move on, because we lost it in the edit, the pterodons have overrun the bowman into the spell slinger. And
Spell slinger.
spell slinger? No.
Spell sing.
Oh, okay. Spell
They
slinger.
sing, they don't sling.
Spell slinger probably would have worked too.
It does. It's pretty good.
So we're going to start with the 17 javelin shots into the war dancers and hopefully try to blunt their attack. They're still getting the poison, so hopefully we'll get some work done. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 and 17. So most of them hitting on 5s, and the brave is hitting on a 4. It's not looking too fantastic.
3 poisons. I think that's it. Is that right? 3 poisons?
Yep, 3 poisons. And 4 wounds, 4 to wound rolls. So strength 3, toughness 3.
Yes.
So wounding on 4s for 1 more. So 4 wounds total.
6 ward save. Yeah. 4 die. Let me just double check that they need to panic. Immune to psychology.
Pretty sure they are.
I'm pretty sure they are, but if I... Skirmish, shadow dances, immune to psychology, if I was correct.
Oop.
Ooh. A little bit of jiggery and pokery here.
So how many frontage you can go? 6.
Yeah.
So I can go probably to 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope.
I think these guys are going to be in the front as well. Because I can only go in your flank if I fudge it.
Yeah. It's going to be an awkward one regardless.
I think I can get all 3 in, base to base.
I don't get ranks anyway.
Is it still rolling?
No, I turned it off.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
No, it's
Oh, no,
recording.
it's all right.
So, is this my turn too?
Yeah, your turn too.
Feels like a lot. So we've moved everything into combat. We want to heal, so we've got the classic, my hill was too steep. So we've had to rearrange everything in a faux gaming sense. Hopefully it will work out. There's another combat over here. These bloody things have ripped me to shreds over here. War Dancers have gone in behind the hill to avoid the Stegodon's great bow and being charged by him. Also to try and threaten the flank of Temple Guard. If they move forward, I can charge them in the flank. I'm giving away my secrets to Mark, but I'm pretty sure he gets that anyway. Everyone else has stayed still. These Way Watchers still can't shoot properly because they've been blinded again. I forgot my Pageant of Strikes in the last turn, so I'm going to try and remember it in this turn. Pageants of Pageant. What's they called? Spikes. Right, it's additional shooting attack. Oh. Why did I think it was better than this? It's 1 strength for a hit. I'm going to do that first, so I do 1 strength for hit on the Osaurus. Hitting. Hits on a 3+. Yeah. Wins on a 4+. Yeah.
Okay.
-1 to your armor.
So 5 plus armor.
New.
And a 5 plus ward.
From anything.
No.
No. At last. There you go. So magic phase, you get 4 dice, you get 2 for coming. 6 magic dice, 2 for coming, 2 for my level 2 who's in combat, 2 for the level 2's over here on her own.
And I've got 2 for coming and 2 for my level 4.
Just give me love editing in this one.
Yeah.
I'm messing up that front.
All learning.
He was so professional, it's like he was born to do it. The hidden path is not had by Twilight Host. Yes! Great. Who's going to get shot at? You got no shoot? I'm going to cast a hidden path on the Glade Guard. The Eternal Guard. Eternal, I said Eternal. 8 plus.
And for those playing at home, what does this one do?
For those playing at home, this one makes them immune to non-magical shooting. Total power, which is what I needed for the other one.
Not much point in trying to dispel it anyway. I mean, I know I could actually
The only
try
point
to-
I did it was to suck some dice out of your pool. So, he's going to cast the Twilight Host on himself, which makes him cause fear.
Okay.
Which might make a fear test and hit him on 6s in combat. And keep him low. Right, I'll take that. That goes off on a 13.
Alright, well, we'll try and we'll just throw all the dice at it. And we get
11,
13, 14. With my +1.
14, and I rolled 11, 14. Equal.
Oh, so it goes off.
No, equal dispel.
Oh, okay.
Damn it, that +1! On to shooting. Do you want to re-roll for that thing?
Yeah, we'll do it now.
Okay. Oh, because your Passion of Strikes is...
Strength 4, so roll to wound, 4 plus.
No, roll to hit first, 3 plus.
3 plus. And it hits.
No, it doesn't. This is the card. It misses. Then
Oh, we're just doing a do-over.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
you're up.
What's happened? Just
You've
sorry. Just edited it out.
Start again. Do
Well,
you have
do-
the third one? So he's going to fire Bow of Lauren at the Temple Guard. He's hitting you on a 6. That's BS1. No hits. 9 shots. 6, 7, 8, 9. Hitting on a 6. 2. And wounding you
Fives.
on a 5. 6 is a killing blows with bows. So ignores the armour, you just have your 4 plus ward.
Okay.
Is it 4? 5 plus ward.
5 plus 4. And he saves.
Yeah, still haven't killed any of them. Okay. So, can I have 10 shots past the skinks to hit the croc schools?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
so normally the skinks do block line of sight, but you can actually see that at least one of them has a direct line of sight. So yeah, it's fine.
I'm going to measure because it might be over 15. End 1. Yeah. So there's only...
And 1 or 2 of them have got short range.
Yeah. So it becomes 4s. Are they large targets?
Probably. I don't know.
I don't think they are.
Croxicles. No, they're not.
Yeah. 4s.
Which is interesting.
Toughness 5.
Croxicles are toughness 4.
Toughness 4. 5's to wound. 3. That'll do.
And they've got a scaly skin 4 plus.
Go!
All saved.
Also tough as cheddar cheese. 10 shots into the temple guard. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I think it's over 15. You'll measure. Pretty sure it's over 15.
I don't have ulterior motives for wanting you to measure.
Well, sometimes you have to do it. It's a big thing, but so 3s. 5's to wound.
Just a 1.
1.
Okay. 4 plus. Fails it. 5 plus ward. And saves. Best value glyph.
Yep.
Or sacred plaque.
Okay, that is the best. It's like one of those British blue plaques. It's once it's there, it's just staying in place. So we'll go over to the combat. I'll do Storm of Blades, which give me +1 attack, and then it's Storm of Blades 3.
I don't think that this is going to be very good for the schemes. I mean, they got 4 deaths on that. Because that counts as a combat resolution, doesn't it?
No. Yeah, the stand and shoot.
Separate.
Yeah.
That's why you checked it out. Immune to psychology. Gotcha.
Yes. Because they could have panicked and not got in. So they can't panic. So 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And one of them is the Blade Singer. Everything's singing, not slinging. Blade Slinger sounds good. Blade Singer is better. I should be hitting on 3s. Unless you wish to claim the rulebook, sir. Somewhere for skill 5. Bring that on back. 1, 2. Those go. This is not good. This is shockingly bad. They got strength 3.
I'm pretty sure they're only toughness 2.
Toughness 2.
Yes, toughness 2.
3's to win. Oh.
5 dead.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
Okay. 5 and a tree.
And 3 attacks each.
I'm probably misnaming them. They're forest spirits, aren't they? Or
Yeah, they are tree kin.
okay, they are tree kin.
Yeah.
Okay.
3's to hit you. Good dice rolling again. And then there's strength 4, so that's 2 2s. That's lucky. 2, 4, 5.
So I don't think that means that any of them can fight back. Oh, the champion will be able to fight back.
Who would the champion like to attack? The war dance.
Cool. I think probably best for war dancers. So the brave. 1 attack. Weapon skill 2. So their weapon skill.
5.
Okay, so I'm actually only using on
Hits.
hits. Strength 3, toughness 3, so 4s. Wounds. And so I guess a 6 plus. Oh,
That would have been very...
the plucky little guy.
But he stabbed.
Still, I would say that I've well and truly lost.
What was the
So
res?
2, 4, 6, 8, 9.
9.
I have a hit.
So 8.
8.
I don't get any other bonuses, I've got no ranks, but I do outnumber.
And you charge.
Don't get 1 for charging.
Okay.
So that goes back to 8.
Well, I'm only leadership 5, so.
Yeah.
So
Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes, but I get to roll 3 dice and choose the lowest.
Yep.
These absolutely not.
Yeah.
They
But
were-
the other thing is, I do cause fear. How many is left? So 3, 6, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. 8 left. So I'll do outnumber.
Oh, well, you're breaking anyway, that's the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I run, I believe it's 6 inches. You do roll 3 dice, is that correct?
thought it's more than 6.
2. I'm fleeing 6.
Do both. Trees first, 5, don't catch you. And war dancers do 6.
Okay. So they're wiped out. So the Croxagore might have to respond to that.
Yeah, they'd have to. Unless they've got a rule where they can ignore what the skinks do.
Snip. um, There's other stuff, but not to do with that, so they will have to, the Croxagore will have to take
Panic.
a first.
Be nice if they took a break test on that. Minus.
Okay. So, snip. So the Croxagore will now take a panic test. They're leadership 5, but like all Lizardmen, they roll 3 dice. No, sorry, I apologise. Croxagore are leadership 7 on 3 dice. And I've got snake eyes, so they'll be fine. So the overrun for both will hit them
And
for next
yep.
turn.
So they've both been in front, I think,
Mhm.
because that's there's that 3. So it's over there. I think we're pretty sure that's in. Would you agree, or
I would
yeah,
agree.
yeah. No point in
I
getting
mean,
measuring tape
It
out.
gives me an advantage, of course I'll agree. But I'm guessing you probably want to maximise the frontage on them.
No, I don't actually. I'd rather get more tree kin on them
Okay.
because they're tougher. They're gonna take the wins. There's a dance I can do which gives me a save, so I can get 2 trees in. I think. I have to overwhelm you with the numbers.
I've got this combat over
Oh
here.
yeah.
Now, in this case, I'm hitting first.
Yes, he charged me.
So, there's only 2 pterodons that can get in, but one of them will be brave pterodon. Weapon skill of 4, I'm guessing.
What's yours?
Weapon skill 3 on the pterodons.
Yeah, before. Yeah, weapon skill 4.
Okay, so hitting on 4s. Oh, that's good. So 4 hits.
Toughness 3. Strength 4. 3.
4, 2 wounds.
2. He's got 1 left. He is dead.
Mm-hmm.
But the good news is you can't charge until your turn.
No. And does your unit have to take a panic test?
Yes. They're running away.
Okay.
They're going to have to go that way.
Mm-hmm. Well, fortunately, they don't cause a panic in the ones that are breaking through.
They do.
They do not. They just pop out the other side. If they're still there at the start of your next turn, then you take a panic test. But it's not automatic.
Oh, that's a good dice roll. First. They go 11. Put some here.
So because they'll be within 4 inches at the start of your next turn, you'll have to take leadership tests for fleeing friends.
That's my turn.
In your next
Yeah,
turn.
yeah. You'll get.
And yeah, you don't automatically start a panic, as far as I understand. Because I was looking it up because I was trying to work out what happens if the skirmish screen falls back,
Yeah.
doesn't take the charge. It doesn't set off a panic in the Croxagores. But that's not even specific to the Croxagores.
So these two are actually going to technically be in the wood.
Mm-hmm. Also, they might potentially panic them as well.
Oh, they'll be within. If they don't rally.
No, because you test before they rally.
Yeah. Yeah, you do the panic, so it's going to be everybody.
Okay, end of turn 3 movement phase for the Lizardmen. The Salamander hunting pack is moved up. Didn't march them, I kind of wanted to give them a bit of space. The Saurus with spears did charge, and the Away Watchers fled. Now, in response to that, what I've done is I've moved the pterodons around behind for two reasons. One, I want to get them to throw their javelins into the back of at least one of those units there, probably the archers that are still not fleeing, but they're also positioned to try and catch the fleeing Way Watchers and hopefully destroy them if they fail to rally. Now, the Temple Guard have kind of pivoted to minimise their side frontage to try and catch the War Dancers, because I know the War Dancers will want to charge. That's almost inevitable at this point. I just want to minimise the impact that they take, and then hopefully the Stegodon can catch them in return. And that's pretty much it for the movement, so we're going to go straight into the magic phase. So once again, I get 2 for coming, and I get 4 dice for being an all-powerful frog on a chair. And I'm actually going to cast Blinding Light this time on... Oh, that's a good question. Who am I going to cast Blinding Light? In some ways it would be a good idea to cast on the War Dancers, because that would not only make them unable to charge me, or limit their ability to charge me, but it also going to dramatically reduce their effectiveness in combat. But in some ways I kind of want to get them to charge, so instead what I think I'll do is I will cast it on the big block of infantry there, just to dissuade them from charging, so I can just deal with the Elves 1 unit at a time. So, going to cast Blinding Light on a 9+, and that's not looking good. So, it barely goes off with a 12.
There they go.
Okay, so they've now got 1 weapon skill and 1 ballistic skill, and also half movement. And I will once again cast the Rule of Burning Iron, and I'm going to cast it at the War Dancers, even though they're going to get extra.
Ooh, yep.
And it goes off with a 7 total.
But I can only use 3 because I'm only level 2.
But you get the +1 for being magic resistant. Or is that +1 to the roll?
It's +1 dice,
Okay.
magic resistance, but
I've got no more dice to use.
yeah, no, can I still use... So I can use 3 to dispel.
Mm-hmm.
Can I use 4 then? You want me to use 4?
Use 4.
Use 4.
We've got 4. It's kind of in the side. It goes up the triple fist. So it's fizzled. I mean, it was only ever going to kill one of them anyway, so
Yeah.
it was more just... And it's only strength 3. Okay. So, going to the shooting phase, I'm going to start with the Stegodon. It's going to fire its mighty crossbow into the Eternal Guard.
Eternal Guard.
I'm going to get these. So I moved, so it would normally be a 4 to hit, now it is a 5 to hit. And it misses.
And I cast the immune to... Went off of total power, the immune to non-magical shooting.
That's right, you did too. I'd forgotten that I was there.
I was waiting for you to hit me and go,
Kind of a moot point. So it just stays in play until it gets dispelled?
No, 1 turn.
Okay, 1 turn.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I meant to cast the I Cause Fear instead.
Okay.
And that went off from total power and you destroyed the wizard. So.
Okay. And I'm going to throw some javelins. So I've got 3 javelins to throw. Not a whole lot, but they're still good and they've got poison, so hopefully we'll get something out of them. And all ballistic skill 3. And I don't have any penalties because they're throwing weapons. I'm going to actually target the unit that is currently not fleeing. Yep, so the bows. So hitting on 4+, and I get 1 automatic wound.
No save. Any more shooting?
That is it for shooting, and it really just comes down to combat. And you count as charging, so
Yep.
if you want to go first. But I'm guessing because it's not your turn, you can't change the dance.
I think you can change it on every turn.
Every one of your turns, or every one of the turns?
Let me check that.
Because that would make a big difference.
Yep.
Because if you can change it every turn.
I think you used to have to change it every turn.
Oh, you're not going to keep dancing the same dance every time.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, wow.
I think you used to have to change
I get bored.
it. yeah.
Well, it's just that. They are hipsters.
They get bored with the nut bush and they switch to the mashed potato.
Friends of YouTube, would you agree that Wood Elves are the hipsters of the Elven Kingdoms?
They were hipsters before it was hip to be hipsters. Each round they fight must choose one. They cannot choose the same dance in 2 consecutive turns of the same combat engagement.
Okay. Well, this is a new combat, but I'm guessing you'd want to change the dance anyway.
Yes. I'm going to do the Shadow's Coil, which gives them a 4+, ward save, and then takes away one of their attacks. Because you're tough, then you might hit me with lots of dices.
My Croxigors are weapon skill 3.
We've got 3 threes to hit.
I'm eternally grateful that you don't have Killing Blow.
No, I do.
Oh, that's on wound save, isn't it? No, it is.
But your count as a large wounded creature, so it doesn't work, only works on. I didn't do the dance that gives me Killing Blow. First of all, it's a moot point, but you can't Killing Blow. Elves can't Killing Blow ogres or Croxigors.
Gotcha.
And you can't Killing Blow Tricky, but you can Killing Blow an elf with a sword.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yes. I don't have Killing Blow now.
Yeah.
So I'm toughness 4.
With strength 3, 5.
Toughness 4. Ooh, that's not looking good. 2. 3. And any adjustment?
No.
So 4+ for the scaly skin. 2 wounds. 3 wounds apiece. Okay.
6 attacks from
That one.
6 attacks from the Shrieking. Again, hitting you on a 3 because I'm weapon skill 5.
Mm-hmm.
That's dropped off the table. All hit. That's great. Toughness 5.
And toughness 4.
Toughness 4. Strength 5. 3s to win.
Mm-hmm.
Just going to double check my strength because I've hit with everything. This could potentially be good. Don't want to cheat. Strength 5.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, my eyes flashed before a number. Yes, strength 5. Always make sure I don't auto lose the game. 5 to 3s. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
4 wounds.
Okay, so normally scaly skin 4 will come down to 6+. Not saving any of them, so one which was already wounded dies and another one dies, leaving 1 Croxigor left. And it's going to attack back with 3 attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Weapon skill 3, so hitting on 5s. I'm going to nominate the Treekin actually as the target, because strength 5 with a double-handed weapon. Might as well make it work. So hitting on 4s.
Weapon skill
3.
to 5. Yeah, 4.
So 4+. I hit twice. I am effectively strength 7.
Toughness 5.
So I'm wounding on 2s. Both wound. And I imagine I need a ward save.
and that's a 5. New.
How many? 3 wounds apiece?
Yeah. Yep. So 1 takes 2.
Mm-hmm. So I still lose by 6, I believe.
6 wounds and outnumber. No, sorry, 6 wounds, and then you did 2.
Mm-hmm. Now we all cause fear, don't we? That doesn't actually matter.
Yeah, and I'm immune to psychology. Yeah, so you don't fear. Yeah, don't know what's right. 2, 4, 5. Win by 5.
So my leadership is 7, comes down to snake eyes.
Yes.
So on 3 dice. And I flee.
So I'm going to chase with both because I need the points.
I only run 2.
There's the snake eyes.
That would have been good 2 minutes ago.
This is the War Dancers.
7.
7, and this is the Treekin 11.
So, 4 dancers get to here. And 11. Fortunately, they will not be able to charge. Because they're not out of the arc, whereas the War Dancers probably will.
Is that snip? So we just had a quick discussion about the turn. I said you do your rally before you declare charges. Mark said you do your declare charges first. He was correct. Of course, the first thing you do is test where there's fleeing troops, and there's fleeing troops here, and there's fleeing troops here. So you do your panic check for the other 2 units first. My Glade Guard rolled an 8, which is equal to leadership, so I survive. The Eternal Guard, the Guardians of the Forest who will never run in the face of the enemy, rolled a 9, so they're running away. They have to run away to the nearest table edge from this kind of panic, so they're quite close to the table edge. So I'm going to show you the dice roll. Luckily it's only 5, and very luckily their pterodons are about half an inch away from them, so they're not auto-destroyed, but they're very close to being auto-destroyed.
It will, however, make the next turn very critical because if they fail to rally, they're almost guaranteed to go off the board. And yes, they will get a musician. They do.
No, you can just destroy them because you can charge them when they're fleeing.
That's true.
So I have to rally these guys and shoot you to pieces. So.
There are a lot of ifs. It's not looking good for the elves.
Yeah. I would.
Okay. So before we do
Upgraded.
those other ones, we now have to declare charges.
Yeah. So
Are
I'm
there
gonna
charges.
call that because I need to have a think about declaring here. Because in hindsight, I should have redeployed my whole army. So we've had a charge over here. I'm under 5 inches away, so they can't stand and shoot. If we just do the measure, 5. So they're well within the 5. So they can't stand and shoot. So we're just gonna have a quick. No, we don't move them yet. We declare the charge.
Mm-hmm.
Then we rally. So I do the Way Watchers first.
Mm-hmm.
So they're led by the General, his leadership's 9.
8.
That was too close for comfort. The Archer's leadership can use the General because he rallied first. They run away again. So they're going to go through nearest table edge now because they ran away from the field. So they're going to go this way. So I need to roll like a 2 now. Or lower. No, 10.
Either way, they'd be either off the table
Or destroyed.
Or destroyed.
Which one would you prefer?
I like the thought of pterodons just chewing them up. as they
These
go
will
past.
panic now because the unit was destroyed within 6 inches. So panic test for these guys. Maybe shouldn't use the same dice, they seem to be hot. No, they're fine.
Theoretically, your general will also have to take. Because if they've just run through and been destroyed,
Yep.
they're also within 6.
And they just panic. Yeah, they just, even if they just rally, they still have to face the consequences of all the stuff happening. So for the Way Watchers unit, Leadership Number General.
They're fine. Are they within 6?
Who?
The Return of Guard.
They're already panicking.
Oh, they're already fine.
Yeah.
Can't panic on
They can panic even more. That's about it.
Oh, you forgot to...
Yeah?
Did you want them to charge?
No.
Oh, okay.
They're not. They're going
I
to get you
thought
in the front. I can't beat the res. They'd need to. Everyone would need to hit, and
Okay.
everyone would need to wounded, no saves. Wipe out the front rank, and you might still beat me.
Just from a meta perspective,
Yeah.
what are you hoping them to do?
Nothing. Just survive.
I feel really terrible now because I've bought these like just tough as nails blocks, and now it's like okay. So we are Lizardmen turn 4. Now I'm going to declare some charges, and while the camera was turned off, Nick and I were discussing it. The Pterodons are going to charge the Eternal Guard. Now the Eternal Guard have to flee. They flee a maximum of 2d6, maximum of 12. Now, pterodons can and will charge up to 20 inches, so it was more just determining where the pterodons would actually end up. And I don't have any other charges to declare, because at this point I think it's more just mopping up various elements of Nick's army.
Well, these are dead.
Yeah, there are no other charges because over on this side the salamanders have been wiped out by the war dancers, but the war dancers are pretty much out of position now, as are the treekin. So it's more about just at this point consolidating in the centre with my scaly boys. Okay, so movement has now concluded. I've moved the temple guard up, and I've done a 180 on the Saurus, just in case they need to charge or deal with the treekin. The Stegodon's also moved up, and that was it for moving. So going into shooting, again, into magic, got my 6 power dice, and I'm going to look at doing a couple of different things. One, I'm really worried about what that unit can do to my pterodons, so I'm going to hit them once again with blinding light. Just so they can't really do much. So that's a casting of 9+. And so that's 12. No. I can do maths. 11.
Try and discast with 3.
Mm-hmm.
Discast?
Discast.
Is that a word?
It's a word now. Miscast.
Mi-
No. Dispel.
Dispelled.
Dispel.
12.
Is it 12?
No, it's not.
No,
It's 10.
not. It's 10. So it does go off. So they're weapon skill, ballistic skill 1, and they're half movement, but that's going to be a bit of a moot point because they're probably within range even for a 5-inch charge. And lastly, I'm going to shoot. I'm going to do the Rule of Burning Iron.
That's magic.
It is still, sorry.
Yeah.
Rule of Burning Iron, I'm going to cast it on the Way Watchers. So 3+ to cast, and I get it with 10.
Yeah.
So, what's their armor value?
0.
Okay. So they don't have armor.
No.
So it's a strength 3 attack, so winning on a 4, and it fails to wound.
They have nebulous cloaks.
Okay, moving on to shooting. Pretty much all my shooting has gone except for my Stegodon. It's going to fire its great bow into the Way Watchers. So it has moved. So
And they're skirmishers.
There is skirmishes, so we'll be hitting on the 6+. And misses. Just going to see if they can see the ones with javelins, to see if they can hit the... What do you think, Nick? Can they hit the Way Watchers? I'd say with the squinting going on, it's probably a no. So we won't.
I'm going to say no. Yeah, you can see their back of their boofy hair.
Probably out of range anyway. So that's it for shooting, and there is no combat. So
Elves.
Turn 4.
Just a quick explanation of movement. So with the blinding light, the Way Watchers can't see anything, can't shoot anything, and they're only weapon skill 1 in combat.
And half movement.
And half movement. So because they're skirmishers, they can still move up to 5 inches. So I'm trying to get away from... These count as skirmishers, don't they? So, yeah. So hopefully if they charge me in your turn, I can stand and shoot. And everything else is rotated around. Magic phase. 2 for coming, 2 for the level 2. So I will cast the Hidden Path onto the Way Watchers, try and keep as many of them survivable as possible, and 7+. Doesn't go off on a 6. And I'm going to cast Tree Singing on the woods to try and get it to smash into the back of the Saurus on a 4. Goes off on a 10. But you got
So
4.
I'm going to throw all of my dispel dice at it.
And you get to plus. Ooh, jeez.
And it dispels.
15. 2 shooting. So I've got 10 shots on these guys onto the Temple God. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I think it's over 15, give me the measure.
It's fine.
4 to hit. Let's call. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits, 5 to the wound. 1.
4+ save.
So, and then I fire everything at these guys from. I'll do Passionate Strikes first, hitting on a 3, hits you, strength 4, toughness is 3. No, it doesn't matter, I rolled 1.
Toughness 3, yeah.
Then you'll fire the Bow of Lauren on a 6, because he's weapon skill, ballistic skill 1. Hey, hits you. And a 6. Scaly skin, mounted.
Yeah, we wanted a 6+ save, but 5+ or because it's strength 4, isn't it? If it's strength 4, it will have no effect, so it takes a wound.
No, save, you get save.
Oh,
It doesn't say anything that's strength 4.
but if he's strength 4, that's automatically.
Doesn't, it says he gets as many, she gets as many attacks, it gets as many shots as they have attacks. He's got 3 attacks, 3 shots, but doesn't say, it just says it's a bow, it doesn't say it's his strength 4, but it doesn't say the bow's strength 4.
Wasn't that what you did the wounding on?
I did it before, I was wrong,
Oh, okay.
so you still get saved.
Okay.
So, 6,
Takes a wound.
takes away. 9 shots, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, too many, 9, hitting on a 6, drop that one, it was a 6 as well, dropped, doesn't count, 1, no, just 1,
Alright, and toughness 3.
strength 3, 4 to wound, 4 to wound, wound.
And 6+ save, no save, and kills are carried on.
And that's a panic check for
Mhm.
25% in one turn.
Okay. Pterodons are leadership 5 on 3 dice. There's a double one.
Oh, double one.
Fun fact for those playing home, I got 5 total. So even on 3 dice, I was fast.
No combat phase. On to the Lizardmen, turn 5.
So, Lizardmen turn 5, the movement.
Is it 4 or
5.
5? Okay, I'll put the dice in the wrong.
Because I had the first turn.
Yes.
So, Lizardmen turn 5. I've moved the Saurus with the spears up. They didn't have enough range for charge, so they sort of positioned themselves to take a charge from the treatment. Also moved up the Temple Guard with the Slam. Again, they're well out of range, but it's good to move them up. I did attempt to charge with the Pterodons. Unfortunately, they were just a little bit short, so they've positioned themselves threatening the Spellsinger, but not actually able to make contact, which might have been a bit of a problem because their poison shots might have been more effective. And I've also spun the Stegodon around to threaten this unit of war dancers that have been hiding behind the rocks. Hopefully between the poison attacks and the bow might do some impacts. In fact, what I'm going to do is not fire the great bow. Instead, I'm just going to get them all to throw their javelins, because I think that's probably going to be more effective in the long term, just in terms of hitting and all of that. So, getting on to magic, we've got once again 6, and I know it's become a bit of a theme, maybe even a bit of a meme. I'm going to use 4 dice to cast Blinding Light on that most dangerous unit. Once again, it's a casting of 9 on 4 dice, and it 6, 9. It comes out either 10. So barely casts, and somehow still manages to get it. So once again, they are movement 2.5, and they are ballistic skill and weapon skill 1 each. And lastly, I'm also going to shoot the Rule of Burning Iron. This time I'm going to target... I will target the Way Watchers because I don't actually have to roll to hit. So cast on 3, I get it with a 10, goes to 11, goes off. It's strength 3 because they've got no armour, and it doesn't wound. So the mighty magic of the slam, not all that it's cracked up to be. Going into the shooting phase, I've just really got the Stegodon now. So instead of shooting the big bow, they're all going to shoot and throw their javelins. Now javelins are thrown weapons, so they get no negative penalties for moving or over half range. So we'll all be hitting on... We'll normally be hitting on 4s. They are throwing them at skirmishes, so we'll be hitting them on 5s. And I get 3 hits. 2 of them are 6s, which are poison attacks, which means that they automatically wound. The other one will be wounding on a 4+ because they are strength 3 and they are toughness 3. And so 3 wounds.
3 wood saves or no?
Fortunately, the war dancers are immune to psychology, so will not be running away as a result.
They will be running away.
And there's no combat, so straight into Wood Elves turn 5.
So on to turn 5, I'm basically scrambling around to try and keep as many points alive into my last turn. The Way Watchers have tried to get away from Temple Guard. The Blade Guard have tried to get away from the Temple Guard. There's a lot of guard on the table. War Dancers have come up on the hill out of the charge arc of the Saurus. The Treekin have positioned so I can hopefully multi-charge into the Saurus, maybe, possibly, no. And the War Dancers over here have disappeared around because they can still march because they're skirmishers away from the Stegodon, and yeah, just hoping on that turn 6 that everything's out of charge range and the Pterodons disappear to try and keep their points. Moving on to the magic phase. 2 for coming. and 2 for the level 2 spell singer. Remembering, I think I can do tree singing twice because I think it's a magic spell which has the thing here that says. Play some music now while the rules are checked. That doesn't say I can do it more than once. Oh, it did. So I will cast out of range. Cast the Hidden Path on the Way Watchers on 7+. 6 doesn't go off, and I'll do Tree Singing on the Wood 4+. Total power, you cannot dispel it even if you want to. D3 inches, so I'm going to move it towards your temple guard. 1 inch. Well, they can be far enough to interfere with them. I wanted 2, I've got 1. So I think that's just shy of them. What do you reckon?
Looks like it.
Looks like it's just like literally kissing the base, but not. Nope, just not enough. On to shooting. I'll try and take out the pterodons. Pageant of Shrikes, hitting at 3+. Strength 4, toughness 3, winning at 3. Yeah. Overline, hitting on us, because the thing is still in play, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. 6. Yep. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 shots. Hitting on a 6. Sorry. Does that count?
Yeah.
Yep. 1.
Wood.
Wound.
On A4.
Yep. Yeah. And these guys moved to. Well, then he died. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 1 has died. I think I did that wrong before. I did total 10 dice. Didn't cause any wounds.
I was going to say it didn't really matter.
No. And. Yep, they're all in the arc. They moved, so it goes to falls.
Skirmishes.
So shooting these guys.
Oh, you shouldn't.
Yes.
Sorry.
Sorry, didn't make it clear.
So, winning on 5s.
Winning on 5s. 4 becomes. Ooh, stick on tail. 6.
2. So, saving on 4+. 5+ ward. No, 2 dead.
Wood Elves sing Victoire. Killed 2. No combat. You're 10-6.
Okay. So, I don't think there's any room for charges.
Do you want to cut or you want to?
I'll just
Yep.
keep going.
Yep,
It's gonna
keep
be
going.
Quick enough.
Quick enough.
There's no charges, so this unit will actually do a bit of a shuffle back. Just to get you out of the flank. That one, can I pass the...
Yeah.
That. It's going to just spin and go to here, so I can just throw some javelins. These little fellows.
I'll get them out of there.
Yeah.
Keep them for another day.
Yeah. So I'll basically come 20 inches over to here. There. Okay. So going into the magic phase. 6 dice. Blinding light on the way watches. It miscasts. Now, this hasn't come up yet, but when the 4th generation slime miscasts, your spell doesn't go off, but they don't have to roll on the table. So basically, the spell automatically fails, but that's it. But then there's 2 more dice left.
But because you miscast. But no, the magic phase doesn't need.
It's just a miscast.
Right. They truly are the masters of magic.
They certainly
They truly are.
are. But then I will do the Rule of Burning Iron. I'll do it on the way watches because I can. It goes off on a 10.
Oh!
The spell failed automatically. So
4.
wound on a 4. And it wounds.
And
As a
I'll
way watcher.
say
Now into the shooting phase. Once again, I'm not going to worry about the bow. I'm just going to use the javelins. Make sure that they're in range.
tap Mercier.
They are within range. So normally hitting on 4s, but shooting at skirmishers. So hitting on 5s. Reroll the cocked one. And nothing hits. So over to Wood Elves, turn 6.
So there's going to be no charges. There's just going to be a stack of shooting. Move and fire. New. So no fire's illumination. So magic first. Sorry. If I treating into you, I'm going to nix myself because you'll have cover.
Mm-hmm.
So no. But treating in the tree into you does do some damage to you. You're ruining our video, Michelle.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
D6 strength 5 hits.
Probably worth it. It's probably better than what the shooting was going to do.
How dare you?
Because you can still shoot those.
Yeah.
Especially if you do move it in.
Right, so we do treating in on a 4 plus,
Mm-hmm.
knowing it's probably going to be dispelled. From the spell singer onto the tree, onto the temple guard, need a 4. Goes off on a 9.
I've got 2 dice left, haven't
I have 2 dice left.
you? What other spell do you have?
I have the hidden part.
And what does that do again? That's the move one.
That gives me a ward save. That gives me a magic immunity to mundane shooting,
I'll
which
put all 4
in
dice.
turn 6 you can't do. Holy
And
Jiminy
yeah.
cricket.
So it doesn't go off.
Okay. So shooting?
At this point, you just feel like silent bullying.
Yes, I think it is. So passionate strikes on this unit. Hit on a 3. Yeah. Bow of Lauren, hit him on a 3. 3 hits. Strength is 3, toughness 4, 5's to wound. 2 wounds. 4 plus save.
No saves.
2 ward saves of
5
5.
plus wards. No.
2, 4, 6, 8 shots on the way watchers. It's over 15, so it'd be 4s. 1, 2, 3. Winning on 5. 2.
4 plus save. And I
Right.
saved.
Both. And then 9 shots. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hitting on a 4, long range. Winning on a 5. Sorry for hitting your unit. 1.
wound. Saving on 4. And saved.
We'll just work out the score and then we'll fill you in. Okay, we're going to do the summary of the wash-up. So we added up, obviously, it's the same thing you do every time at the end of a game. Mark got a significant number of points, ended up with 1,127 points. The Wood Elves managed to score 411. Very basically solid victory. And I managed to get it from a massacre to a solid victory by around about turn 3 running away, not fighting anymore and just pretending the whole thing never happened and it was a bad dream. Any comments?
Yeah, no, it's good to sort of be playing some 6th edition again. I haven't played it in a while. It's good to pick back up, and I've never played with the Lizardmen before, so seeing how they work, obviously the Mage Priest is dominant in the magic phase, as I guess they're supposed to be. Really didn't get to see if the Thesaurus are any good in combat, because never got a chance to engage, but that makes sense when you're playing with Elves. They're not going to actually meet you in a straight up fight, that's not how they play. So, not too surprised. Pterodons, I feel, are the standout. They really punched above their weight.
Well, they took out 120, 240, 700 points on their own.
So, very much MVPs of the game. My Stegodon really didn't do a whole lot during the game, apart from chase for war dances around a hill. I misplayed the Salamanders. I was really happy with them. They took out the scouts really effectively, but then I misplayed by getting them too close to the war dancers. If they'd been a little bit further back, they could have actually got some reaction fire, some charge reaction fire into them, which probably would have decimated their unit. So a lot of learning to come out of it. I was really happy with the laws of magic that I chose. That blinding light really helped me lock down some key units, and I think without that could have been very different. I think that Waywatcher's unit is a very scary unit when it's allowed to do what it does best, and by limiting its options I think was the right call. I was very tempted to take some destructive magic, really was looking more at laws of death or even law of fire, stuff like that, just to do the big showy explosive spells, but ultimately I think it was the right call to take Law of Light with the more controlling magic. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's always fun to drop a Purple Sun or a Comet of Cassandora on the table, but with the multiple small units that the Wood Elves bring, I don't think that was the right call. I think it was better to have the ones that really just control the battlefield. But all in all, loved it, thought it was great. Don't think I'd do too much different tweaking the army wise. I think it's a pretty solid lineup. It's a fun lineup. I mean, unless you want to go really crazy into making these uber killer Death Star units, but that was more of a 7th edition thing from memory. So no, I really loved it. Hope to play a few more games.
And on the behalf of the Wood Elf, any competent Wood Elf player should apologise. So I put the Wave Watchers in the middle, thinking they'd be able to whittle down some numbers and then disappear from the wood. Instead, they just kept getting blinded every turn, so they didn't get anywhere near their points in shooting. I think I killed 4 Temple Guard in the end in 6 turns of shooting. So it just shows you how effective that spell was. It just took them out of the game, and where I picked my battle on this flank, took out Skinks, took out the Proxagon, took out the Salamanders. Where I picked with multi-Wood Elves, you try and hit with one in the front and hit with one in the flank. I did both in the front. So I should have had actually a second combination over here. Just the Wardons on their own aren't going to take out Stegodon. So I need to, if I was going to do the battle again, I would redeploy my army completely differently. And don't leave scouts stood in front of Salamanders, that's a bad idea. Apart from that, put your spell singers in units. I forgot about that. and they can just get targeted standing on their own. So apart from the deployment, the dice rolling, general movement, engagement, combat, magic, I actually did pretty well.
Army composition.
Army composition, I did pretty well. So
Because just on reflection, I think maybe even a single Great Eagle, or maybe some Warhawk riders, could have actually locked down those pterodons, because without that, the pterodons could just run riot, and they did.
So apart from that, very good. Turned the massacre into a solid victory from our opponent.
But that's the beauty of Warhammer, is that you can. There's always room for improvement. There's always not something else that you could have, should have, would have done, and at the end of the day, it's all about what do the dice want to do. There was a couple of key moments there. I think that maybe with some slightly different dice rolls, it could
If
have.
I'd have won the first turn.
Yeah, but for the grace of the dice, go he. Yes, and I think if you had won that roll, it could have been very different, because you probably would have wiped out the salamanders. I know what scouts can do if you let them run rampant, and that would have actually been a very different state of affairs, because all of a sudden I would have been on the defensive with a pretty dangerous unit running around in the back line, so I would have had to very much change up my thing, and I probably would have had to bring the pterodons over to deal with them. But you don't know, and look forward to another game soon.